24 Sportsbet Caulfield Cup.
Pericles went to the front, grabbed by Buckaroo. Buckaroo takes the lead, draws 2 lengths in front of Pericles. Buckaroo storms away. A one-act affair. Warmonger, Queen of Dragons, stride for stride. Warmonger just in front. Queen of Dragons won't go away. It's coming back. Outside wins.
It's Elias and Cheowolf, the 2 favourites fighting it out. Elias the inside at Cheowolf. Elias kicking hard and won the Kingston Town. Elias a half length. Zardozi on the inside of Land Legend. Zardozi, nothing in this. Stride for stride, they hit the line. It's a bob of the head.
Zardozi kicks into gear, 3 lengths in front from Ethelfled, then Basilina, but it's all Zardozi. Zardozi coming clear from Ethelfled, and Zardozi wins the Oaks. Deny Knowledge has given a bold sight. Mr. Brightside wearing her down. Still Deny Knowledge, a length and a quarter. Mr. Brightside not getting there, and the mare has stolen it. Deny Knowledge wins.
Very, very lucky sports bet punters. Gary and Jared, they're both in the running for 100k after the drawing of the barriers. They've both drawn a couple of nice chances. Gary, Warmonger, that's a nice get.
Got a great chance, really good chance. I'm happy.
100k, there's a rumour going around if you win it, you might retire.
I might retire and I might get some new teeth as well.
I like it, Gary. Hey, Jared, Duke DeCessa, he's a good chance too. How are you feeling?
Oh, I haven't heard of him, but I'll take it, to be honest.
Hey, what was the feeling like when you'd got the text message to say, come up on stage, you've won, or you're in the running to win?
Hey, I thought it was the bank trying to get money out of me, but I have no idea what's going on, so I'm happy to take it.
What would you do with the 100 grand?
Jesus, pay us some debt and take the baby around the world.
Well said.
Who knows?
Hey, good luck, boys. Hope they both dead heat for you and you can split the 100,000. How would that be?
We'll do. We'll take 50.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup. 2,400 metre handicap at Group 1 level, $5 million prize pool. First run in April 1879, moved to the spring in 1881. It's held pride of place here ever since. Last year without a fight, of course, going on to complete the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double. We had to see off a couple of greats in West Wind Blows and the 2022 Melbourne Cup winner in Gold Trip, who was placed in this race for a second straight year. 2 years ago, history made with the first emergency who got a run, Durston, collecting Chris Waller's second cup and Michael D's first. Gold Trip and Knights Order, the place getters, and incentivised. What a phenomenal, stunning performance that was in 2021 for Peter Moody and Brett Preble to see Nonconformist and Persan off. And the great Very Elegant, she won this race in 2020, defeated Anthony Van Dyke in the Chosen One, and as we know, 12 months later completed the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup double. 7 of the last 11 Australian and New Zealand trained Caulfield Cup winners have run in the Turnbull. Very Elegant and incentivised completing that double. And we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th behind Via Sistina in the Turnbull present and accounted for in this year's Caulfield Cup. From a barrier perspective, 8 of the past 15 have drawn 10 or wider. Incentivised was 18 of 18. Murder Glass from 17 won the race in 2019. Land Legend draws barrier 1. No horse has won a Caulfield Cup from the inside gate since Velocity in 1941. We've had 4 mares win the Caulfield Cup in the 21st century, and what an honour roll it is. Ethereal, Southern Speed, Jamaica and Very Elegant. 3 of those 4 winning Oaks as fillies. And of course, Southern Speed went pretty close in an Australasian Oaks in Adelaide. MRC Chairman John Kanger alongside Caulfield Cup Ambassador Harley Reid as we get a look at the jockeys in the mounting yard as they prepare for the 148th Caulfield Cup. And Hutch, in the last few minutes, we've had an upgrade as expected to a soft 6. So again, as good a surface as we could have hoped for from this time 24 hours ago.
Yeah, well, it was great to get out on the track with Michael, and you know, we had a good look at it and we heard from Michael, and it looked as though it might, you know, get an upgrade, and it looked as though it wouldn't be a complete surprise if someone probably went back to that inside section, which they did. So I think all the riders are going into this race thinking, beautiful, this is what we want. We've seen a good spread of winners at this stage through the day. Nothing wrong with those inside sections, so may the best horse win. Saw a vision of Andrea Atzini, Karis Teeton, Zach Pert. They've all made their way down to Hong Kong for the race. Zach's an Australian native. He knows and understands the prestige of this race, but how does that sit amongst the likes of
Atzeni and Teton, who are amongst the best on the Hong Kong stage, to come here and want to have a crack at one of our better races.
Oh, it's great to see them here. You know, they're used to the pressure environment. They get that in Hong Kong week in, week out. So this moment won't worry them, and they want to ride in as many big races around the world as they possibly can. It's great to have them here, and we'll wish them all the best of luck. And I think, in particular, Andrea's got a fantastic chance on Zardozi, and of course he had that success in the Sydney Cup as well. So he's no foreigner when it comes to getting it done.
So runners at the moment out the back in the pre-parade. They'll make their way up and through the tunnel and work their way into a mounting yard that, one, is currently bathed in the most sunshine we've had all afternoon here at Caulfield, but also they are now packed deep right around the fringes of the mounting yard fence. It's a wonderful sight, many nervous connections, some who've been on long journeys, and I guess in the case of Australian bloodstock and their important Sadati, they get to see their horse run for the very first time, but with a high level of expectation given his credentials as a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old.
Oh, absolutely, and with the right sort of stable, and as was mentioned earlier today, the ownership group, they astute purchasers of the right types of horses that can, you know, land some of our feature races. This is one of the big jewels in any crown. There's no doubt about that, and what a moment that would be for a young Ben Thompson. Of course, Kieran Ma, he's a dominant force all round. Doesn't matter the distance, doesn't matter what sort of feature it is with his arsenal, what he has behind him, that is for sure. But, you know, the faith's been put in young Ben Thompson, and he'll be looking to capture his biggest career win.
And the market gravitating to the Underwood winner and the Turnbull place getter in Buckaroo. Joe Moreira aboard, 480 now into 440 on the VOP.
Yeah, I think he's got the right credentials. I mean, the little query has been well versed already through the week. Will he get the trip? Well, he's got the right form. He's got the superior form and the right credentials. It's more so, you know, will he see out the mile and a half?
Here we go for the Sportsbet Caulfield Cup of 2024. And horse one making its way forward is Carla Paul, winner of the Tancred at weight for age Group 1 level over 2,400 metres back in March. He was 6th, beaten 9 lengths in last Saturday's Might and Power. Ben Mallam placed on Homesman and Mirage Dancer in 2018 and 19.
Trip's not a problem, but the form is well held last week. Different conditions today, which might help Colour Paul, but really needs to lift on recent form.
Yeah, you'd like to think with the blinkers going on, that can be what he needs to bounce back to a bit of form. He's a lovely old horse that knows his job. He's relaxed beautifully.
9 horses have completed the Underwood Caulfield Cup double. Looking to make it 10 is the 2 in Buckaroo. 2nd in the Turnbull. Joe Moreira trying to provide Chris Waller with his 3rd Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, he's the horse to beat. His form speaks for itself. Just beaten a smidgen by Via Sestino. Proven Group 1 performer in the Turnbull and a dominant winner of the Underwood. Brings that sort of form. He'll be extremely hard to beat with 54.5 on his back.
He looks brilliant again. He's looked great his last few here. He's been racing in such great heart, which we all know. He's so relaxed. He's been moving beautifully. I've seen him out the back. He's here absolutely primed. Kieran
Ma with 4 runners in search of his 2nd Caulfield Cup, the first of them the 3 Circle of Fire, successful in the Sydney Cup.
Not a bad run in the Turnbull, but we know he'll come more into his own when he steps up to the Melbourne Cup trip.
Gorgeous horse, crossover off Norton on, wanting him to settle and bounce back to a little bit of form.
10 years after Admire Rakti got it done for Japan, the 4 Warp Speed brings form out of their best staying contests.
Yeah, similar to Circle of Fire, you think this is a stepping stone on the way to the Cup, but the Japanese entrants are pretty happy with the way this boy's arrived, so who knows.
He's had a really good walk out the back. He's been saddled up for a long time, so he's a little bit warmer than what some of these other horses are, but he's conserving his energy great. It would be a hell of a training performance to get him to win first up here.
5 Huetor gives Peter Snowden a Caulfield Cup runner coming out of the Queensland winter. He was 2nd to Buckaroo in the Underwood.
Honest and certainly a sound enough effort. He's got a little bit to find on that run in the Turnbull.
Just getting a little bit warm on the flank there, but he's striding out beautifully and looks very, very well.
6 is Warmonger. We haven't had a Queensland Derby winner win the Caulfield Cup in the same year since the great Tulloch did it in 1957. At that stage, the Queensland Derby was a spring race. This would be some achievement for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr.
Great run in the Mackay Diva in testing conditions, and probably maybe just raced a touch flat in the Turnbull, but his other form reads well. Wonder if he can improve. The drying track may not be what they wished for.
He's dappled up this fellow. This has been a long-term aim for this horse, so the team have got him here primed. They've done their bit. He looks well.
7 is Alias, third in the Turnbull. Tim Clark and Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott combined to run third in this race 2 years back.
Know how to peak them on the day. Great front-running rider, on pace Alias. Excellent run in the Turnbull and form prior in the Kingston Town. Well, there's winners littered everywhere.
Yeah, another horse that looks super. She's so healthy. He's so healthy, sorry, this horse. I think that he saddles up in great physical shape. He's got good tone. He's moving well. He's conserving his energy pretty well on a big occasion.
With the Whirlpool in effect and now over $1 million, all eyes in Hong Kong perhaps will be on the 8 Land Legend with the great Zach Purton in the saddle. He's got to defy some history. No horse has won from Gate 1 in the Caulfield Cup for 83 years.
He likes to break records, that's for sure, and this horse was fantastic, surviving a protest in the Metrop. Look, it was an excellent win, and I think what we saw in the previous event, inside is okay, so that will give Zach a lot of confidence, and this horse is clearly good enough.
He's an unbelievable mover, this horse. I've been watching him out the back, and I've been really taken by his action. He's so powerful and loose. He's obviously feeling very well and sound within himself. 9 is Young Verta. He ran 8th in this race 3 years ago, 5th in the Turnbull.
That he did, and I think he's a very honest and consistent sort of galloper. He's probably just got to find a little bit on recent form. I mean, at the weights, there's others that just make more appeal, but he won't be far away.
He's really honest, this fellow, like you say. He's got the blue on shoes going on today. He's had them on before, and his action's really good with that in mind. 10 is Duke de Sessa, 9th last year, 4th in 2 key lead-ups. The Underwood behind Buckaroo, and then 4th in the Turnbull.
What's been good about those runs, even though he hasn't won in a while, is that he's been brave off a very strong speed. There'll be good speed again, but maybe 2400 will see more out of him.
He's the ultimate professional, this horse. He knows his job, very unassuming, conserving his energy beautifully. Sheila Laxon won with a standout mare in Ethereal 23 years ago. She returns with training partner John Simons with the 11, Knight's Choice.
Yeah, has to improve, simple as that. Ran last in the Turnbull and recent form's not great.
He's a pony, this guy. I was really taken by how little he was out the back. There's not that much of him. He's a good mover, though, and he's presented well. The team know how to win a Caulfield Cup. 12, Miramasa is a scratching. To the 13 in Zardozi, Andrea at Xenia board for James Cummings, 2nd in the Metropolitan, the winner of the VRC Oaks as a filly last spring.
Brave in the Metrop off that run. She stays the trip, and apart from that, well, 51 kilos on her back, she's nicely in at the weights too. She looks sensational. You can see dapples all over her body. She could not be in any better physical health, this girl. She's lovely and relaxed. She's keeping it all together, and her fitness is absolutely spot on. She looks really, really good. Tony McAvoy ran 2nd in this race with Fields of Omar 22 years ago. He and son Calvin McAvoy have the South Australian Derby winner, the 14 Coco Sun. She's building nicely. 2400's a plus. So Karis Teaton rides from the wide gate. I think they're going to have to ride her for a bit of luck, and if she gets it, a minor spot might be the best she can do. She's going to be a horse that's well and truly going to appreciate the give in the ground. She's a big, heavy girl that hasn't been appreciating the good 3s and good 4s lately. So I think with juice in the ground, if we're going to see a bounce back, it would be because of that. The great How Now in 1976 is the last mare to complete the Caulfield Stakes. Caulfield Cup double, that's the assignment for the 15, to my knowledge. Dropped 6.5 kilos for the weight for age Group 1 win, beating Mr. Brightside. That reads well. 1.5 miles, no problem. She'll roll forward from the outside gate on the back up. There's a lot of positives. She looks impeccable again. She seems to have come through last week in fantastic shape. She's beautifully healthy. She's keeping it together pretty well with this big crowd. I think that she's here in tip-top shape. 16, Valiant King, ran 6th in this race last year from the inside gate, draws out for Teo Nugent. Yeah, there's something there with him. I think we've shown that, but don't think you could back him with confidence, that's for sure, and hopefully he can recapture some of that overseas form. There's nothing wrong with the way this horse is presented. There's probably others that I prefer in such a tough, time-honoured race, but he's lovely and healthy in the skin, and he's moving well. 17, Positivity, a scratching. To the 18, Sadati. Ben Thompson with 1 previous ride in the Caulfield Cup, 9th on DeLittle Engine in 2016. Yeah, 5th in some Derby reads well, and you mentioned Jan Bruegel earlier in the broadcast, Nigel. So this is a promising stayer. 50 kilos on his back, if you don't mind, as well. It's just a matter of whether or not he's tuned to the minute. Well, he's with the right stable.
He certainly is. His coat's lovely and rich. He's just getting a tiny bit warm on his flank, but that's nothing to be concerned about. That's not going to impact his performance at all. You've got to trust the stable. They know how to get a horse ready for a big race. He's got his crossover and tongue tie on, and he's accepting that really well. 2
of the 3 emergencies gain a start. The 19 Fancy Man, Annabelle Neesham, in partnership with Rob Archibald. She's had a runner in the top 5 of this race each of the last 2 years.
What was good about his performances so far? I mean, he was wide with that cover at Caulfield first up in the naturalism, and then of course he was, you know, it wasn't easy to sort of peg them back in the race won by Herman Hess. He's going all right, this guy. Another one on the backup.
Tell you what, I wouldn't, if I was a punting woman, I wouldn't be leaving him out of my exotics and first fours and that sort of stuff. I watched him out the back. He looks an absolute treat. The team have done a wonderful job. I know that he's technically an outsider in the market, but he saddles up way better than that.
Carleen Heffel was set to be riding 2 hours away at Bendigo this afternoon. Instead, she's here to take the ride on the 20 Berkshire Breeze.
Yeah, Berkshire Breeze has been, well, he's raced through the winter, he's going well, track conditions no issue, just be hoping the speed's on, lands in a good spot. And some of those Flemington performances were really impressive. It's just, is he going as well lately?
He looks great again. He's at the top of his game. He's been rock hard fit for a number of months now, racing all throughout winter. So you know that fitness is absolutely no query. It's actually the best his coat's been. It's finally starting to come good. He has held on to it for a little while. So he's in great shape if he's up to this class.
That's the field for the 2024 Sportsbet Caulfield Cup $5 million Group 1 handicap over 2,400 metres. A 5 kilo spread in the weights from top to bottom. Clint Hutchison siding with Buckaroo. Our race favourite as Chris Waller seeks a 3rd Caulfield Cup after the previous victories of Very Elegant and Durston. An opportunity knocking for a couple of both international stars, but also the likes perhaps of some local riders like Michael D to try and win another Caulfield Cup. Let's go to Amy Yagi for her pick of the yard for the 2024 Sportsbet Caulfield Cup.
Oh, wow, guys. Where do I even start here? There's some beautiful looking horses here. I'm with Land Legend. This horse kept on taking my eye out the back. The way that he was moving, I think that he's absolutely primed for today. He's got an unbelievable action. I think he's just at the top of his game. Buckaroo, outstanding again. Warmonger looks like he's primed for this. The list goes on. Zardozi, Alias, Deny Knowledge. There's so many horses here right at the top of their game, but in a bit of a very tricky race, I'm with Land Legend.
Okay, Amy, $8.50 for you. Land Legend, he has his supporters. He opened up at that quote, and he's rock solid at that. But they're coming for the favourite, Buckaroo.
It's a long-term plan for a long time now. How has he been pleasing you in the last couple of weeks in between runs and coming into today?
Yeah, well, obviously we had a flat run in the Turnbull, which dented our confidence a little bit. But his strapper said his energy pre-race is like it was in Mackay, so that's got to be a good sign.
Where would you like things to be, and with Michael D on board from that tricky sort of barrier?
Yeah, going to give him a little rub out, but be neutral, so I think it'll be midfield or rear of. We want to be in the second wave, so if we get on the back of Zardozi, she'd be the right one, drawn near us to take us a long way into the race, but he'll ride the race. He's a big Group 1 jockey. Yeah, just got to hope that, you know, the pace is on, but that we can make ground as well, and the horse hits out properly.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Charlie Duckworth joins us. The Chris Waller team are looking for their 3rd Caulfield Cup in the space of 5 years with 3 runners. Charlie, appreciate your time as a collective. How did they all parade?
Yeah, paraded really well. Valiant King was a little bit on his toes. I thought, if anything, to pick a hole in any of the 3. But look, I think he's probably over the odds. Really, I think he's more than capable of running a really solid race today, especially if they run along a little bit. Awkward draw to contend with, but Melbourne Cup's his main aim.
Is there anything specific you've asked of Teo from the White Gate?
Just to have him travelling and have him comfortable. Really, I don't think there's any need to go right back to last. If he can travel sort of in a midfield position or a pair worse, then that's more than fine by us. As long as he gets clear running from sort of 400, and then he should chime in late.
Buckaroo's had a very traditional Caulfield Cup lead-in via races like the Underwood and the Turnbull, and it's been fantastic in both of them. For some, there's a query at 2,400. What's the camp's view, and has Gelding adjusted that view?
Yeah, look, I mean, in Sydney he ran over 2,400 metres and was only beaten at, I think, 1.7 or something, and he came right back from last. I know it was only a small field, but I think it's very hard to judge his form as a colt versus as a gelding. He's obviously improved significantly. I think he's more than capable of getting the distance. We are obviously mindful that we don't want to chase a hot speed if there is going to be speed on. So very much in the hands of Joe Moreira, but pretty safe pair of hands to be in.
Land Legends, now Group 1 winner at 2400 via his effort in the Metropolitan. Zach Burton from Gate 1's got an assignment. What's the dialogue been?
Yeah, look, he's actually not the most straightforward horse to ride. He can be a little bit awkward and can get a bit headstrong. So we don't want to be forcing the issue and getting him out of the gates too sharply, because I think he'll over race. So the trick is getting the first half right. I think the track drying out will only add to his strengths, and look, he obviously sees out the journey terrifically well, and it's a privilege to have Zach on board.
Lastly on that, the improving track now on a soft 6, who's perhaps the most benefited by that?
Oh, it's a tricky one. Look, I think realistically it just gives you a perfect racing surface. All runners get their chance, and there should be very few excuses on the day, which is what creates good racing and a good market.
Thanks, Charlie. All the best.
Thank you.
Behind the barriers here for the big race, and it's certainly building all the atmosphere, and the jockeys have all given their horses a good warm-up. They're just starting to come round here now to the barriers, and we've got Buckaroo, the favourite, Joey Moreira. He looks very cool, calm and collected. The horse is looking as cool, calm and collected as he is, which is really good to see. Even with the blinkers on, that horse is just prepared exceptionally well for today's assignment. I've got Deny Knowledge just heading straight at me here. She's on the back up and looking very professional, very good. You like to see them parade this way when they're on the back up. She's not sweating, she's nice and relaxed. Craig's just having a swig of water, and just having a look at Land Legend as well. Zach Burton over here for the ride. Land Legend's actually got a little bit sweaty on the neck. Still got the red earmuffs. They'll keep those on for as long as possible. There is a lot of atmosphere here, so a couple of them just getting a little bit of a towel down with that sun beating down. It is actually starting to get a little bit warmer, which is good. Looking at warp speed again, walking towards me, lovely and relaxed. Good to see the Japanese invader over here and taking everything in really well. I saw this horse being saddled up and coping well with the atmosphere and the new surroundings. So plenty of nice horses to look at here. I think it's go wide.
Thank you, Charlotte. So news via stewards as we see the overhead shots, and now the runners milling behind the gates. Young Verda has been vetted behind the gates after making contact with the fence in the mounting yard. Subsequent to that, he has been passed fit to run. So one more loop in the roller coaster that has been the build up to this race for Young Verda and Danny O'Brien, given of course he was assessed a couple of times in relation to his gate. Michael Walker, a final thought on how this will play out? Earlier in the day you provided us with a bit of a roadmap for what it might look like for Elias and Tim Clark from 18.
Yeah, well, I think it's still going to play that way, but as Mick Price said, and I've looked through it, there's definitely going to be a rush to that first corner. So Elias, by having to cross that or get in behind that, he's still going to have to do a little bit of work, so is Deny Knowledge. But with the track now at a 6, a better track than what we started today, there's been a lot going on in the jockeys' minds thinking, do we go in, do we go out? So it's going to be interesting to see what the jockeys do.
From that point of view, the previous race was great. Saw one sit on leader's back, come straight up and hard against the fence. And in fairness, jockeys in general haven't really gone down to the inside, but it was clean ground all throughout, given that they have avoided that patch through the day. So I think a few of them now, if they're drawn low, they'll be, you know what, we're okay where we are.
Level of confidence. We've got an even racing service, an even playing field for the 148th edition of the Sportsbet Caulfield Cup. Here's your caller, Matt Hill.
Duke Decessor, Harry Coffey with 52 kilos about to join them. Vitor waits its turn. Coco Sun and Zardozi, the two mares. 22 mares have won the Caulfield Cup. Duke Decessor's been placed forwards. Warp Speed for Japan is in out wide. Valiant King next door. Valiant King Teo Nugent, a white distinguishing cap. Zardozi about to come along. Andrea Razzini aboard in the Godolphin blue. So Young Verda taking another turn. It's a little bit fizzed up in the enclosure. Here's Buckaroo with Joe Moreira. Chris Waller looking for his 50th Group 1 win in Melbourne. Young Verda joining them now. Zardozi about to come along, and Elias with Tim Clark will take the outside alley. Here's Zardozi taking the middle alley, and now Warmonger's broken through the front. No harm done, very much under control, Warmonger, but just a nervous moment there for jockey Michael D, who won this race 2 years ago on Durston. Mickey, a very composed individual. They'll shut that gate. Warmonger has literally gone 200 metres. In the meantime, LES, they've just halted LES going into that outside gate as a result.
A little bit more drama in the build-up to the running of the Sportsbet Caulfield Cup. Charlotte Littlefield, you're behind the gates. Warmonger has drawn one of the outside barriers. Did you get eyes on the incident?
Yeah, just simply put some pressure on the gates. Obviously quite a significant amount of pressure, and they've popped open. But the beauty is here, he hasn't gone far, and hopefully if he passes fit with no injury to his head, he should be all right to run, because he hasn't been out of control and gone very far at all. The clerk of the course has just caught the horse, come back, but Mick D, being a very good horseman, he's managed to control the horse nicely and bring him back. So he's coming back here now. We'll get Holly Capples, who's the vet on course here, to have a look over the horse and make sure he's okay and fit to run.
So Warmonger making his way back to be assessed. Michael Walker right now, what's Michael D's job?
Is going on, just waiting patiently as Warmonger is now behind the gates. They'll trot Warmonger up and make sure that all is in readiness. Warmonger $17 with bookmakers is about to load up again. So we're just about there, past fit to start officially. Warmonger goes in, and the field is set for the Sportsbet Caulfield Cup. The 148th running, set to go. They are ready. Racing in the Caulfield Cup, and Buckaroo jumped away neutral. Towards the inside, Fancy Man was away okay with Carla Poor, Duke de Sessa. Young Vertus trying to slot across. Sadati's kicking up from that inside draw, and there's LES who's firing over. So as they reach the judge, Duke de Sessa is the leader from Carla Poor. Then LES and Sadati out wider on the course. Deny Knowledge 4 and 5 deep from Young Vertus, Fancy Man. Then came Land Legend, Zardozi. Berkshire Breeze is middle of the pack with Whittor, and they were followed by Buckaroo with Coco Sun around at 4 deep. A length and a quarter, Valiant King, Warmonger, Knight's Choice, and Warp Speed is last in the Caulfield Cup. So with approximately 1,600 metres to go, Deny Knowledge is going to continually force around them and take the lead from Duke de Sessa. LES is third, one off the fence from the outside draw. Sadati fourth the inside, 2 lengths to Carlapour, followed by Land Legend. A length away, Young Verta 3 deep around Fancy Man and Zardozi. They were followed by Circle of Fire 3 deep around Berkshire Breeze and Whittor. As they reach the top of the hill at the 1,200 metres, the speed's been even. A gap, Coco Sun, Buckaroo, Knight's Choice, and then came Valiant King, Warmonger. Warp Speed is last of all through halfway. So it's Deny Knowledge, only knows one way by 2 lengths. 2 in second, Duke de Sessa. A length and a half away third, LES, and then came Sadati. A length and a half, Carla Poor, Land Legend. Young Verta 3 wide. Behind those, Zardozi tucked away on the inside, making up a little bit of ground. She's nice and close, about 6 off the front. From Fancy Man, Circle of Fire at the 800. Then Whittor, Berkshire Breeze, Buckaroo with a bit to do. Coco Sun under pressure from Warmonger, and then Knight's Choice well back with Valiant King and Warp Speed. Duke de Sessa at the 600 metres is about to put the foot down. Claims Deny Knowledge. Land Legend right there in second place, chasing Duke de Sessa. 2 for the back is LES, and then came Zardozi, and a gap to Fancy Man. Duke de Sessa comes around the corner. 300 metres to go. 2 legs, 3 legs in front of Land Legend, who couldn't sprint with it. Deny Knowledge wax on Zardozi, and here's Buckaroo. Duke de Sessa, 200 metres to go. 4 legs in front. Buckaroo's the only danger, trying to get into the lead. Duke de Sessa, 100 to go from Buckaroo, a length and 3/4, but it's going to be Duke de Sessa, Harry Coffey. This is your moment. A length and a half, Buckaroo. 5 lengths away, third, Land Legend. From Zardozi, Fancy Man, Deny Knowledge. Then LES, Circle of Fire, Warmonger. Whittor, Young Verta. Valiant King, Knight's Choice, Coco Sun. Warp Speed, Sadati. Then came Carlapour and Berkshire Breeze last. A daring win. It's Harry Coffey. It's the story of the carnival so far. Duke de Sessa wins the Caulfield Cup.
That it is, Matt Hill. there's few better racing stories in one of our more iconic races than Harry Coffey saluting in the 148th Sportsbet Caulfield Cup from the front on Duke de Sessa, who gives Kieran Maher his second victory in the race 8 years after his bonny mare Jamaica saluted. Duke de Sessa, who was 9th in the race last year. He's just been a different conveyance this preparation. 4th in the Underwood, 4th in the Turnbull. Conditions to suit this afternoon. Rated to absolute perfection. And the jubilation within the Mark camp on the face of Will Bourne and Ben Salinger. Will Bourne very instrumental in the purchase of their horses out of the Northern Hemisphere. And once again, that keen eye has delivered a Caulfield Cup victory with Duke de Sessa. What an afternoon for the Mar operation. Bell and Ipatina, their star sprinter, wins an Everest. And a couple of hours later, they've won their second Caulfield Cup with Duke de Sessa saluting for the country boy, Harry Coffey. 10, 2, 8, 13, the numbers in the 2024 Sportsbet Caulfield Cup. Terrific efforts in behind from the likes of Buckaroo, Land Legend and Zardozi, who are all favoured but simply couldn't make an imprint on Harry Coffey. The margins, 1 1/4 lengths by 5. They've been spaced out in 2:31.42. Charlotte Littlefield, you've got the privilege, the honour of talking to the Caulfield Cup winning jockey, Harry Coffey.
I needed to give him a moment there because I think I'm actually going to get a bit teary here. That was an absolutely incredible Caulfield Cup win, not only being a Caulfield Cup, but it's your birthday as well. How are you feeling?
Oh, I don't know how to describe this. How am I feeling? Spectacular. Phenomenal. When I let rip, I thought maybe I've gone too early. But one thing you can count on with Kieran Maher and this amazing team he has, you can back their horses in. They'll just keep running, and because of Kieran, this horse's owners, his staff, and more importantly the horse, I've been involved in a day I'll never forget on my birthday.
You had a bit of time there to just come back to, well, not down to earth, you're still on cloud 9, 99, whatever cloud you're on, it's an amazing cloud, but what was going through your mind in those moments after that win?
Oh, I just couldn't believe it, that he kept running, and that the Caulfield Cup was going to have Harry Coffey's name next to it. Like, it's just phenomenal. It's not supposed to happen to people like myself. I'm considered a battler. People like to laugh about how I'm a battler and a country boy, but yeah, not many Caulfield Cups get won by country boys, so I couldn't pull the horse up, to be honest. I just let him roll, and yeah, me and him just had a little moment along the side here where I actually can't tell you the love and the happiness I have for how well this horse ran today. And as you can see, he's pulled up absolutely tremendous, and once again, I don't want to harp on it too much. Just a phenomenal effort from Kieran and his team to condition stayers the way they do. Amazing feat to win an Everest and a Caulfield Cup on the same day.
Isn't it? Within moments of each other, and I think, Harry, we're just all so happy for you, and we want you to get back there and enjoy this moment because everybody is thrilled. The crowd's going off. I want you to go and enjoy this moment. Give that horse a big hug, and well done.
I just want to say one thing. My dad wanted to come with me today, but I told him not to worry about it, and I'll handle it without him. And he actually nearly caught the train this morning down and was going to drive me home tonight, and I said to him, nah, I might have a beer tonight, so it all worked out how I thought. But yeah, sorry, Dad, that I told you not to come.
I'm sure your dad won't mind.
Thank you.
Well done. Oh my God. Adelaide race 8 will come to you in a minute on replay because I have Carly Holt here. Carly, you've just strapped the Caulfield Cup winner.
I can't believe it. I was so proud just to come here and be a part of it today. And my grandparents used to take me to the races as a kid. I didn't actually grow up with horses, so I'm so proud to do this for my grandmother, who's still around to watch this to this day, because I know she'll be so proud, and that pleases me more than anything. And so thankful to Kieran Maher Racing for giving me this opportunity today. I can't believe it.
It must be so amazing, your grandma sitting at home watching her granddaughter strap the Caulfield Cup winner.
Oh my God, it'd be so amazing. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and watch her, but yeah,
How long have you been with the team?
Not quite a year, so I feel so blessed and lucky to have gotten this strap today. Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams coming here today think that you were going to be strapping the winner?
I hoped and I thought he would be a really, really good chance. So to let it unfold and actually happen, and I was so happy during the run. He just, I couldn't see him getting beat really. He looked like you hope they don't, you know, give up at the end of it, but he just kept going, and yeah, it's just unbelievable to watch.
Congratulations. Go get your horse and give him a big hug.
Thank you so
and
much.
Walk him in. Well done.
Thank you.
From Carly Holt to Jack Turnbull, who joins us. Team Mar have won their second Caulfield Cup 8 years after Jamaica. It's Duke de Sessa in such stunning fashion. Jack, you've just had a quick conversation with Kieran, who's in Sydney. Tell us about it.
Oh, it's magic, to be honest. Yeah, just fantastic to get on the phone to him, especially after Bella. Prior to Jenny's walking into the yard as well, so yeah, we'll hold fort for another 10 minutes, but just pinch me moments sort of stuff. Stable's having an extremely good day and very good ride by Harry. Everyone's so thankful for Harry and really appreciative for him to win. Everyone knows how well deserving he is, and it's just amazing.
Every year you seem to have one, if not two, stayers who campaign through the winter months to have themselves ready and perhaps ahead of the pack for our staying features. It's never necessarily yielded a top-end victory, though. What was different about Duke de Sessa compared with the Grand Promenades and Pursands and future history we've seen in previous seasons?
Last season he was a colt, and he had a good think about it, and he used to over-travel. This race in particular, we changed a bit, so we put a Norton on. He's obviously had 12 months of seasoning and conditioning, and Kieran and the team just had a better handle on him. So the form's around him with Via Sistina, and yeah, it's just amazing. Just very appreciative, and well done to Maurice Regan, Colin McKenna's in the horse. You know, it's amazing, and it's fantastic for the stable.
How are you judging things as the race unfolded? Drying surface was going to suit the likes of Deny Knowledge to try and set the tempo. That's been sort of his style across the course of the season. But what were you making of the race as it was unfolding?
Well, when I thought we were going to make all, I was okay, but when Deny Knowledge come around us, he just got a lovely drop, and they weren't going fast, and he loves this ground, he's fit. When they upped the ante at the right time, he was able to build into it, and it just got everyone chasing. And when he put 2 or 3 lengths to the top of the straight, you knew he was going to sustain that, especially the way the track is playing. So just unbelievable. I cannot, you know, even think this is happening, and it's speechless.
A day you'll remember forever, Jack. Congratulations.
100%. Thank you.
Very, very happy owners here, guys. Tell us your name and what this means to you.
Matt Belford. So just incredible. Like I've had such an amazing run with Kieran Maher in the stable and Will Bourne, and I just feel blessed. You know, it's such a unique thing to happen, and just so thrilling. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Can you actually believe your horse has just won the Caulfield Cup?
Not really. I must admit, like we had hope coming in. Like the Dukes had a great lead in. We were all, Deckers and I were texting each other yesterday when the rain was pouring. So, you know, the stars have aligned, and when you get these big ones, it's, you know, everything's gone right. Yeah.
And for you, what does it mean?
It means a lot. I miss Colin McKenna not being here, who I love, who is a big crook. I think Kieran is a crazy man, but a genius. I think Will Bourne is elite at what he does, and just very grateful.
Well said. And for you, sir, what does this mean for you?
Oh, it's amazing. Caulfield Cup, Group 1, one of the big 4, so very, very, very happy. Obviously, Will Bourne's the man who brought the horse for us, and he's a legend, so he's just going to have a great time, and thank you.
Enjoy every moment, guys. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be enjoying it for many days and nights to come as we take a look at some of these shots. Well, it's going to be a popular win when you got Harry Coffey on board. We know the health struggles that he's had in his life, Michael. He's an inspiration to, I think, many people just in general life. So to see him have this sort of moment in the saddle, it has to be special.
Yes, definitely. It's something that he really deserves. He's probably the most respectable, happy, you know, happy-go-lucky guy, and everything he does with a smile on his face. And if you ever need a hand, Harry is the first person to put your hand up. But his ride, how he rode Duke de Sessa was just amazing. He allowed him to get him there early without pushing him, so it didn't fire him up. And then once he got cover, he settled nice, and he probably didn't. How he said he got there a bit early. It was because Zach.
On Land Legend come up the outside and pushed them, so he did that, and halfway up he couldn't believe it. He kept going. But Kieran Maher, what can't he win? Yep, he's certainly got a great arsenal, like we've said, but he continues to produce the results. Buckaroo back in the field. Look, he ran on really well. Look, there's a lot to go through this race. There's a lot of moving parts. He got tight for room early, but he has launched late, and he was fantastic in defeat as well.
He was right through to the line. So the horse that was probably judged at the trip, looking forward to a Melbourne Cup, is probably one that you want to go with now. But early doors, he got a squeeze, so he was back further than probably everyone had him. And then coming into the straight, he was held up and had to cross a few. So all in all, he's ran super also.
Will Bourne's been mentioned. He's now with Nigel.
Yeah, Will Bourne's with us, an enormous part of Kieran Maher's team and the Duke de Sessa story. So take us back. You make a lot of trips to the Northern Hemisphere to check out stock and make some shrewd purchases. What was the first time you saw Duke de Sessa like?
Yeah, I mean, it was less than impressive, to be honest. But I loved how tough he was on speed over in Ireland. He's just a quality horse that stayed, and we thought he was going to hit the ground a little bit, quicker than he did, but look, we've got there eventually.
Is that one of the big things about the team, is doing the talent ID part and then the acquisition, but then giving these horses time to acclimatise and also figure out under your model where's best for them?
Acquiring him's almost not the easy part. You can find these horses, but to be honest, the support of the owners is the main thing. And to have great people like Damien Degenhardt, Adrian Willoughby, Matt Balfour, Jeff Garvey, and there's a really Cole McKenna who's in the horse, and he's a beautiful human. He's a really good friend of mine. He's been very good to me. And for him to put a lot of money up and go on this horse meant a lot, and it's great to get his second Caulfield Cup here with the team.
You just had a quick chat to Cole, who unfortunately can't be here today. What were the words exchanged?
He was, he was himself. It was great. It was great to hear. He told me to have a good time tonight, and he told me to bring the cup to see him tomorrow. So I was thrilled to speak to him and Janice, and they're beautiful people. They've been great to me. So to have some small part of getting the Caulfield Cup here today was amazing.
You guys are like having some fun. It's not lost on me that you've decided to take over the old winners' room today for a bit of a function, and right now it's maybe giving you some good luck.
You might not see me until Tuesday.
Will, congratulations. A job well done.
Thanks, Nigel. Cheers.
Yeah, memorable victory there, and once again a daring display on speed from Duke de Sessa, who'd been in a couple of fast races leading in. He was sort of making the running in those, and he was certainly very brave and tough, and probably get that little sit mid-race. Just given a lovely ride there from Harry Coffey. And once again, the runner-up Buckaroo, like I said, it'll be an interesting stewards report. A couple of things early, tight for room on a couple of occasions, and he has pegged back, what was the winning margin? 1.25 lengths, Michael. He must have been standing the eventual winner a good 7 lengths, I think, probably at the top of the straight.
I was just going to say that he's given him a long run, and he's just had an interrupted run the whole race, and for him to finish 1.25 lengths off the eventual winner, who had no trouble, had clear room the whole entire race, it's been a phenomenal run. So Chris Waller has helped that horse to reach his peak. Really good this preparation.
Kieran Maher and the team, what a day at the office, taking out the features, both sides of the border, and while they're a powerhouse, they're a juggernaut. You can use all the superlatives you want. Gee, there were some margins in this race. There were some serious margins. 1.25 lengths first to second, and that gap was being bridged. But let's not forget, and pay credit where it's due with the winner, there's 5 lengths back to the third horse, Land Legend, who seemed a bit keen in the run and a little bit tired late. But really good performance here from the first two home. But there's some fantastic shots as well of the crowd. We're going to have a couple of replays to go because we've been going through quite a bit. But we've got race 8 over from Morphettville. Let's have a look at that replay now.
Point.